Post-war Europe had struggled to get back on its feet. Families had been poor and restricted. Then successful industrialization led to consumerism and masses of waste. The baby boom generation rebelled. Hippies wanted to strip away materialism and believed that flower power would replace nuclear power and peace pipes could end the pointless Vietnam War. In Copenhagen, the waiting time for a council house was 25 years, due in part to speculation. Concurrently, the Copenhagen military compound had been abandoned and could not be used for anything new because the buildings had been listed. But quite frankly, the rebellious generation didn't give a toss. The squatter settlement movement, which started in Amsterdam, spread all over Europe and right into the core of the war institution, where the dream of creating a new state of hippie ideology was to emerge as Christiania. Because
they wish they had a place in utopia. With lots of space in utopia. They picked up the pace and turned the corner and came face to face with themselves. Oh, show us the way to utopia. Show the way if you dare. It's over the rainbow, way up in the sky, where the heart can fly. Show us the way to utopia. That's where we begin to grow.
But that was way before my time. My connection to Christiania happened in 2006 when I went up here to see an exhibition. And I have to say, I was really taken by the space. It's just beautiful with big, strong beams and white walls and little funny windows. So I thought, I really want to exhibit here. So I started thinking about what would I exhibit, what motifs, what subject matter, and quickly chose that it had to be Christiania related. And as I'm interested in people, then it makes sense that it also be people related. And I'd have to bury all my preconceptions about Christiania because I didn't know that much personally. So I thought if I could let the people of Christiania speak through my paintings, my portraits of some of the individuals that live here, then I would have a much stronger exhibition. And it would, in some way, create a portrait of Christiania through individuals. And this documentary, it will go deeper into what Christiania is, its strengths, its weaknesses, but also through my portrait project. So it's still people related and personality related. I know a man whose days are engraved on his face, whose past is etched on his skin, worn, thin, but with beauty therein, spilling over and changing my view of him, changing my view of him. The first person I met in Christiania, the first personality I met was Leif Eslex, and up in this building, the gallery. I asked him what Christiania meant to him.
Det er jo svært at sige, hvad det har betydet for mig som rent personligt, fordi jeg kan jo ikke sige, hvordan mit liv ville have været, hvis jeg var vokset op et andet sted. Men Christiania er sådan set blevet min form for identitet, og Christiania der er jo på godt og ondt et sted, hvor man prøver at gøre tingene på en lidt anden måde. Sådan har mit liv også hele tiden været, hvor man har hele tiden været i opposition til det omgivende samfund. There's a lot of people who come to the community and they're very curious and interested to know more about the community. So I go there and I tell the true story of the community. And when we have a nice walk around the community, and the good thing about it is that because there's a lot of rumors about the community. Many people think it's just a street where they sell hash, and Christiania is much more in that. It's a place where people really have the possibilities to run their own life. And this is a very important thing for human beings, to have influence on their own life. Of course, you have to take, you have to behave in a proper way. You treat people like you want them to treat you.
Christiania is self-governing, so the people who live here have a greater influence on their immediate community and their daily life. On the other hand, there's an undercurrent of power connected to the illegal hash market that restricts them.
Lige med en masse rockere i byen. Det er det er også der tjener vores penge om natten. Ud om alle mulige. Nej, det er sejt. Det er så sejt malet med. Jeg kan ikke finde ord med.
Jeg er glad, at du er glad for det.
Det ligner mig, når jeg er grim. Ikke noget.
There was actually a statue of the goddess of free speech in the middle of Pusher Street for a while, but she seems to have disappeared, and I can't help but think that it is representative of a certain restraint and restriction of that freedom. But I did find somebody called Ole Luge who was happy to explain how he sees things, and Ole has an archive of events and everything related to Christiania that he's been building up over the years. Do you think it's necessary for Christiania that the police have a presence here?
The police effort. They have 3 times tried to move the hash market out of Christiania, and every time that effort has made the prices go up, and the more tough guys in the market taking over control. So after the last effort in 2004 to 2006, you can see now it's controlled by the Hells Angels and the Hells Angels supporter groups and other rocker groups, and again the prices have gone up.
A lot of people are really tired of Pusher Street, and it's not necessarily because people have anything particularly against the hash market, but more the style that it's run in. But I have had some quite interesting experiences in Pusher Street, because there's no way you get away with taking photographs or film there. The contrast between if I had taken a photograph and doing a drawing was so big. The one would have maybe caused at least aggression verbally, if not also physically, and the other drawing actually created a communication, a bond between me and the people I was drawing. And when I was sitting drawing these guys here, one of them came over after about 2 hours and was like, just seeing you sitting there drawing for ages, and became really curious, so he wanted to know what I was doing. So not in any kind of aggressive way, he just came and he wanted to see what I'd drawn, and so I showed him.
Det er Doggy. Hej med alle sammen, og fri has, det er hele lortet. Ja,
Det kan du godt lide, eller hvad?
Ja, lad lige det gå videre til dronningen og hele lortet.
Jeg har sådan en god inspiration ved at ryge hash.
As mentioned before, Christiania was once a military compound. You can see the moat here. The fortification can still be seen amidst the trees, bushes and weeds, smokers. A beautiful wilderness has developed since, well before the squatters arrived in 1971. In fact, they have created walkways where nature had caused an obstruction. But the government has plans to go much further and change the scenery from this to this. I met a tourist who described Christiania as a place where both heaven and hell could be found, which immediately prompted me to do a series of interviews regarding Christiania. I asked, what do you like about Christiania? Why do you come here?
We're here because it's a really great place to come if you just want to relax.
Because it's free and it's for everybody.
It's a place where everybody's welcome.
No matter how you look or how you feel, you can go there.
You know there was a birthday party in Christiania it was on Saturday and Sunday. Were you there?
Yeah, I was there and it was really, really nice. I liked it.
The atmosphere in here is really amazing.
But I even have a friend who was kind of bitten there.
Bitten? Have you also heard positive things about Christiania?
I think I've mostly heard negative things about it.
I really like freedom in this place.
Yeah.
I don't think you find a place like this anywhere else.
Men hører i medierne, så er det jo kun negativt om Christiania.
All the people we know who live here, it's really like brothers and sisters all the way.
One of my friends who lives in Christiania laughed out loud when he heard Christiania described like that. But I do know somebody who really does try and treat his neighbour as his family. He lives in the Opera building behind Pusher Street. Why have you come to Christiania, John?
I like the place Christiania in many ways. There's a lot of beautiful people here, a lot of creative people, with a lot of ideas, visions, dreams, and sometimes even broken dreams or broken visions. Yeah, it even has its name, Christiania. So for me, that linked it to Christ. But the message of Jesus, the message of Christ, the message of love, of peace, of joy, of reconciliation between God and man, the importance of the spiritual side of life. All this I find also represented in Christiania.
Have you any experiences of God in Christiania?
A lot of experiences of that. And as I said, each one is it's special. It's always special when you see people kind of suddenly realize and embrace the reality that there's God who cares. And not only in general, but even cares for me right where I'm at. And he can reach down and touch people right where they're at.
To demonstrate that I am for you and not against you. And to tell you that I'm not counting your sins. Jesus died so that you and I could be reconciled.
Annette and I decided to go to one of the services last year, and I asked her what she made of it.
Grænseoverskridende.
Nej, synes du?
Det var det.
Ja, det var det.
Smukt og grænseoverskridende.
Ja.
af, så får man lyst til at tage noget meget feminint på. What? Are you a blacksmith? I never expect that.
I hope this documentary so far has given you a bit of insight into both the place Christiania but also the people behind the exterior. I found actually that as an artist I was able to get a bit of a backstage pass into Christiania. It's almost like people trusted me with their personal information, and the way that I painted my portraits has really been based on a lot of the things that have been said, and I hope to elaborate on that in part 2 of this documentary. And it's interesting when people really share a lot with you, you can't help but start to see them as friends. And I made friends with artists and tour guides and politically active people and pushers, and Pusher Street isn't all bad. I really think that there are subtleties in these contrasts, and things aren't so black and white. I'm not blind to the hell that exists here, it really does exist. But even if perhaps the outcome so far has not been as originally dreamed, I genuinely believe many of the people who came here and who I've met and painted have wanted to create a place of beauty and healing and goodness in Christiania.
Altså begyndte da jeg kom til Christiania, der troede jeg selvfølgelig, at nu kunne Christiania listen vise vejen til sådan et mere perfekt samfund.
Oh, show us the way to utopia. Show the way if you dare. It's over the rainbow way up in the sky, where the heart can fly. Show us the way to utopia. That's where we begin to grow. They wish they had a place in utopia, a palace with lots of space in utopia. They picked up the pace and turned the corner and came face to face with themselves. Oh, show us the way to utopia. Show the way if you dare. It's over the rainbow way up in the sky, where the heart can fly. Show us the way to utopia. That's where we begin to grow.
And I would like to see if Christiania could, be more open for new things, not be so afraid.
Det er sjovt lige nu, hvor unge, som aldrig før har mulighed for i brøkdel af sekunder at kunne kommunikere, og har de alle sammen lært, at de skal kun tænke på sig selv, og det handler kun om mig, og jeg skal være solo.
Jeg var der også.
Ja.
Jeg synes,
det var også grænseoverskridende.
Ja!
Der står nogle blomster.
That's where